Imagine this. You're a 4-year-old little boy. You're in your home. You're with your mother and your grandmother. You should feel safe, right? Wrong. Not this time and not this story. My name is Tanya, or TitaniumBuilt, and welcome to my channel where we talk all things true crime. If you appreciate today's case coverage, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel, clicking the bell icon to be alerted to new content, and also liking the video. It does really help. And as of right now, I haven't seen any other creators covering this story, and it's already 4 or 5 days old. So you could really be doing me a huge favor. An Athens, Texas woman is accused of using an edged weapon to murder her 4-year-old son. And that's him on the screen there, Grayson. On Monday, Monica Figueroa, 43, was arrested and charged with capital murder in connection with the death of Grayson Hurt. Athens police officers responded to a call from the residents of 300 block of Mitchell Street. The caller was Figueroa's mother. She said she feared Figueroa had hurt the boy, had hurt Grayson. When officers arrived, they found that Grayson was dead and partially covered with a blanket right inside the residence. That's horrifying. After an initial investigation, they found that the boy had been killed by an edged weapon, but a full autopsy had been ordered. According to the arrest affidavit, after being read her Miranda rights, Figueroa spoke with investigators and allegedly confessed to killing her son. But she never gave a motive or reason why. Figueroa is awaiting arraignment at the Henderson County Jail right now. That is going to be in Texas. And the investigation is ongoing. According to the Henderson County Sheriff's Office, while working through the crime scene and conducting interviews, investigators learned that Grayson was killed Sunday, March 12th, mid-afternoon. Figueroa's mother, Mary Johnson, had actually observed Figueroa on top of a rolled-up blanket, cutting it with a wooden-handled knife. So she has this blanket. It's rolled up like a burrito. That's what I'm thinking, like a taco or a burrito. And she's just stabbing this with a knife. Grandmother's like, okay. Like, she doesn't say, like, she doesn't hear screaming. Johnson said that she heard Grayson screaming before she saw Figueroa cutting at the blanket, and then screaming stopped. Then the screaming just stopped after she did that. Figueroa threatened Johnson and instructed her to leave, which she ended up doing. Her grandbaby was in there. I don't know. Johnson returned to the home the next morning and found Grayson dead. Johnson then called the police, called law enforcement, called the police, and they responded to the house. An affidavit was prepared and sent to Judge Scott McKee on this case, seeking an arrest warrant for Johnson. Judge McKee issued an arrest warrant for endangering a child, placed present bail amount at $250,000. So they went ahead, they already arrested the mom because she confessed. Then they went arrested the grandmother for child endangerment. Johnson was arrested and transported to the Henderson County Jail, where she is currently awaiting arraignment. So let's go ahead and play the news clip for you guys that I have. I have a couple for you guys because they arrested the mother and then they arrested the grandmother. So before I get into that, this is what the mother looks like. Beauty, isn't she? And we'll go ahead and get into it.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. A woman in Henderson County is under arrest for the murder of her 4-year-old son. Tonight, Monica Figueroa is in the Henderson County Jail on a charge of capital murder. And we do want to warn you, some of the details in this story are quite disturbing. Here's KLTV7's Willie Downs.
Tonight, 43-year-old Monica Figueroa is charged with capital murder in the death of her son, Grayson. According to the Henderson County Sheriff, Bodie Hillhouse, the initial investigation shows the child was killed with an edged weapon, which was recovered at the scene.
The Athens Police Department reached out to the Henderson County Crimes Against Children Task Force, and then we reached out to the District Attorney's Office and the Texas Rangers and Child Protective Services, where basically all come together, and we're now conducting the investigation.
6:41 this morning, Athens police were called to a house on Mitchell Drive. Figueroa's mother told police she was worried her daughter had hurt her son.
I haven't heard the 911 tape myself, but what I've been advised is she just called and said that she wanted law enforcement to check because she just to make sure that her daughter hadn't hurt her grandchild.
When officers got there, Figueroa attempted to run but was detained. Upon entering the home, they found the child dead and partially covered with a blanket. Hillhouse says they had seen one other case like this a few years back, but says this one is on a different level.
You know, I feel for the first responders, the initial, and the investigators, and everybody that's having to go out there. I feel for the child. I feel for the other family members. But this one's going to be one that's going to hang with everyone involved in this case.
The sheriff says Figueroa confessed in an interview to killing her child. So far, we don't know why. Right now, an autopsy is underway. Willie Downs, KLTV 7 News.
And Figueroa is awaiting arraignment in the Henderson County Jail tonight.
Okay, sorry guys. I was just trying to write down that she was waiting arraignment. That way I know, because I didn't know when she'll be going back to court. So I will make sure that I get that and let you guys know on the community tab. The next suspect up is going to be the grandmother. This is the grandmother. Beauty, huh? So go ahead and share this and we'll play this for you.
Connection with the death of a 4-year-old boy. Well, new details in a capital murder case out of Henderson County we first told you about yesterday. Now, a new arrest has been made in connection with the death of a 4-year-old boy. The grandma who initially called in the welfare check is now behind bars. KTK's Avery Klonowski has the latest.
Monica Figueroa is charged with the murder of her son.
She confessed to killing her son. The initial investigation showed that she used a edged weapon.
Now the boy's grandmother, Mary Johnson, is also in jail. As the Henderson County Sheriff's Office conducted interviews, they learned Johnson observed the alleged murder. It happened Sunday on Mitchell Street in Athens.
Probably between 3 and 5 in the afternoon. And when she was there, she heard Grayson screaming, and she went in and saw Monica had something wrapped up in a blanket and was cutting on the blanket. And Monica threatened Mary, and so Mary said she feared for her life and she left.
Johnson did not call 911 that day.
She didn't go back that night. She went back the following morning, went in the house, saw Grayson, who was deceased at that time, and then that's when she notified law enforcement.
It wasn't until Monday morning that the grandmother notified police. The boy was discovered covered up inside the house. Johnson has been arrested for child endangerment.
Due to her being there and it happening the day before and her not reporting it to law enforcement or trying to get anybody any help, she just left for her safety. And
Sheriff Bodie Hillhouse says she called way after the fact.
It'll be presented to a grand jury here at the district attorney's office.
It must have messed up on their side. So sorry about that because it wasn't my internet. But what do you guys think of this case? What do you think of the grandmother waiting a whole day before she even called? If you see your daughter has a blanket wrapped up like a burrito and your grandbaby is nowhere to be found, right? He's 4 years old. And she's stabbing this blanket with a knife, a wooden handled knife, and you hear a scream before the knife, and then after the knife, the screaming stops. I guess that's her cue to go home. She said, okay, yeah, I went ahead. I outstayed my welcome. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below because I'm dying to know. Also, I shouldn't have used that word, but I can do a live on this if you guys would like me to. I am going to be keeping up with this story. So if that's something that you guys would be interested in, let me know that too, because I can make videos for you guys as well. Also, if you want up to date, up to minute coverage, follow me on TikTok at TitaniumBuilt and over on Twitter at Titanium_built. You guys will be up to date on everything over there as well as over here on YouTube. So I love you guys so much. You guys have a great night, great day, great morning, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye, guys.